Just taking a moment to honor the cards, the messages they have to offer us. We trust in what they say, how they show themselves. We trust in what they're passing on to us to know during this time. Can you hear the birds chirping, by the way? I don't know if you can hear it or not, but this is one thing with eclipses. Energy gets a little weird in nature, because think about it, like in primitive times, think about it, these are rare, right? They don't happen all the time. So think about if all of a sudden you were living your life and like the sun disappeared or the moon turned red. Would be a little weird, be a little freaky, right? And because nature operates by the sun, I think that there's some impact there as well, right? So you'll have like during solar eclipses, like night creatures will react, right? Like you'll have crickets chirping in the middle of the day during a solar eclipse. When you're in a lunar eclipse, it's the opposite. Like the birds are chirping right now at 8:30 at night when they should be chirping at 8:30 in the morning. Yeah? So you're going to have some weird activity outside tonight with nature. And again, that's why you probably want to stay inside and just don't deal with any of that. Okay, so for our card reading tonight, for our past card, I pulled the Chariot. Literally shadow and light, two paths, a crossroads, choosing one path or the other. This is eclipse energy. Now, it's also interesting because we've got Cancer being represented here, and this eclipse is really asking us to take care of ourselves, to kind of mother ourselves, nurture ourselves, like Cancer energy, making sure that we are tending to things. Maybe like parenting ourselves a little bit if we've got addictions that we need to take care of, limiting ourselves, maybe parenting ourselves, having a little bit of an outer perspective or outside of the box perspective on our relationships with people, or our job, or whatever it may be. But this is the time to slow down and reflect and decide, do you want to keep going down the same path, or do you want to go down a different one? And the whole theme of this card is that it's going to happen no matter what, right? Like, even though you have free will, if you don't take the reins of the horse, the universe is going to step in and divinely intervene and choose the path for you, whatever it thinks is best. Do you want to be in charge of your life, or do you want the universe to be in charge? We're co-creating this experience. We're co-creating this reality. We all have that choice. So you can decide, even if you want to make the choice at all. Pluto is in retrograde, the planet of power and control. You can take the reins, or you can let the horses run wild and take you there regardless. For the present card, I pulled the Empress in reverse. So anytime we have the Empress, we're bringing in that energy of Venus. You can see Venus on the card here. And Venus right now is currently in Aries, and she's a little debilitated. Aries is ruled by Mars, quite the opposite of her, right? Exactly the opposite. It's as if things are turned upside down right now. So I mentioned earlier that you might be feeling a little blocked in your creative flow, or you might be feeling stuck in your emotional expression, or able to emote at all or process emotion. You might feel like your power is being taken away. This is the Empress. She sits on the throne. She rules her life. She's got her shield. She protects herself. She's good. When she's in reverse, somebody is taking away her power. And this is what this card is really pointing out right now. So you need to pay attention and slow down, right? Turn within, pay attention to your relationships, your attachments, and ask yourself, who is taking away your power? Where are you spinning out of control? Where do you not have the reins on your life, right? It's time to really make adjustments so that you can turn everything back around and right again. So anytime we have the Empress in reverse, we want to really take note of who's taking our power, who's making us not feel worthy, who's making us lack pleasure or bliss or ecstasy in this life, who's limiting that, who's blocking that. We need to cut cords or set boundaries or make adjustments as needed. This is also the 3, by the way. And we're in that Scorpio energy with the 3 archetypes. Finally, we have, for the future card, the Star. And the Star is all about Aquarius energy, and we are in the age of Aquarius, but we're just on the dawn of it, right? Like just at the beginning of it, and we've got a ways to go. We shifted into that with the great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction of 2020 in the winter solstice, but now we're in it. We're in it. We're here. Age of Aquarius. We're in it, guys. We're in the new earth. And the Star is telling us to get creative, to co-create our reality. So she's pouring from the 1 cup into the river and 1 cup into the land. Water is always a symbol of our sacral chakra, our creative abilities. And she's saying, hey, anything that we desire in this pool of our dreams, we can pour and bring into our earthly reality. Also notice the star on the card. The star represents divine inspiration. Remember, I mentioned this Vishaka Nakshatra influence, like the branch lightning flashing across the sky, or this eclipse energy kind of awakening us. You're going to have things come up, aha moments, times of just like understanding, like insight, hindsight. You're going to have a lot of things happen right now and in the next couple of weeks as we finish out this lunar cycle. So pay attention to what shines bright, what grabs your attention, and what makes itself aware to you. I also want to point out in the very back here, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a dove flying over this tree. And because this is the future card and I'm the optimist and Aquarius energy is the humanitarian, I do believe that this card is telling us that we have more peace on the way. Let's hope. And it might not be until Aquarius season or the next Aquarian moon. I'm not really sure, but I do feel like with this situation of war on our planet right now, I do believe that things are going to shift and we are going to see more peace probably sooner than later, because that's just where our world is headed. That's where the collective is energetically headed, with more peace and less war. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. I know that the cards do not lie. They never do. So I'm trusting in that message from the future.